We were talking a moment ago about China's position on Ukraine. What does this current crisis mean for Taiwan?
Well, I think there will be no direct impact. China is probably in a very difficult position right now. It is ambivalent about the whole thing. It might be quite pleased to see the West, the US and the EU caught on the back foot by this and basically unable to do anything to reverse the situation, anything effective. On the other hand, China is neuralgic, not just about Taiwan, but of separatist movements in Xinjiang, in Tibet, in Hong Kong. And it cannot be very pleased to see an external power intervening in another state in order to support a separatist movement, which is exactly what Russia has done. Now, I think the Chinese know that there is no direct parallel between the Ukraine and Taiwan. Taiwan is far more important, a node in the world economy for semiconductors, among other things, and a much more important economy generally than Ukraine is. Furthermore, you just heard President Biden making very clear that the US is not going to use force to defend Ukraine. I think there is much more doubt about that with regard to Taiwan, in the sense that given the current mood in the US against China, I find it very difficult to see the US staying out if there is the same kind of unprovoked attack on Taiwan. They will probably get involved, and if the US get involved, so will Japan, so will Australia, and I think the Chinese understand this. On the other hand, if the US is weak, that has some implication too.
Indeed. Well, President Putin has shown that he doesn't care what the international community thinks of him, and he might even be willing to throw the Russian economy and people under the bus. But China does care economically what happens. As China is stepping up its trade with Moscow, as the rest of the world is indeed moving away from it, does this hurt China's economic goals in the long term?
Well, I think if I was sitting in Beijing and I'm facing an economy that for a variety of other reasons is already slowing down, I would be very concerned about what the crisis in Ukraine, the sanctions, the effect on energy prices will have on the global economy. Will it push the global economy, which is still in a stage of rather fragile recovery in most countries from the pandemic, over the edge into a global recession? I don't think the Chinese can look at that, with great calmness. So I think they are probably as concerned as anybody else, but they are not going to condemn Russia's actions. They are trying to maintain a very uneasy balance. Don't forget, just a few days ago, Mr. Wang Yi, the Chinese foreign minister, I think he was in Munich, said very clearly that the sovereignty and the independence and territorial integrity of all countries should be respected. And he added pointedly, this includes Ukraine.